Rise up, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, boys and girls, friends, frenemies, and you agents. This is the Gambia One channel. My name is Brother Marley, and I'm just outside Jaden's in the Gambia. I wanted to just discuss with you something that happened the other day. So I'm watching this video on YouTube. It's a man who's talking about the Pfizer data dump that has recently happened, where they talk about the number of deceased people as a result of the medication and the amount of adverse reactions in different areas of the body, and how that was. And what was interesting was that this was documentation from the company itself, from the pharma company itself, where they had released that information through the Freedom of Information Act, had gone via the courts, and now is public knowledge. And when I put it on Facebook, Facebook said, this is disinformation. So it's all very, very interesting, because we're living in a topsy-turvy, upside-down world where what is like documented fact, straight from the horse's mouth, is now fiction, is now not true. So we've got to ask ourselves, what is it that we believe when we're looking at information coming to us from online or from mainstream? How much of that is actually true? How much of that is really fact? And how much of it is no more than a boring Marvel movie? That's the question I need to ask. Over here in the Gambia, there hasn't really been that much in the way of people haven't been that kind of serious about following any kind of mandates or rules and regulations around that medication process. You would find that there was a time where there were curfews, so you cannot work, you cannot go out, you cannot work until after 6, I think it was, or after 7. I remember I had to close the restaurant around about 6 o'clock. There was that, but what you'll find is here in the Gambia, many people as a family group will eat food out of a communal bowl, right? And at work, colleagues will eat lunch out of a communal bowl. You'll see, like, when taxi drivers are taking a break and so on and so forth, if you're near the taxi rank, those taxi drivers will be eating out of a communal bowl. So my question is, in a country where at its most vigilant, people are eating out of communal bowls at work and at home, there is busy markets happening, like Serekunda Market, like Brikama Market. They're up and running even during the most, at the height of the problems. I'm really watching my words carefully, because the last video I did, YouTube took it down when I spoke about this subject. So when that is going on, the question I have is, how is it that we're still here, and how is it that we're not hearing about people who are falling down because of this illness? What's going on? Well, one thing I am for sure is that I don't know what's going on, and that what I'm being told is going on isn't what's going on. So look, over there where you are in the West, wherever, I'm assuming everyone here is watching this is either in the UK or in America, right? You could well be somewhere else, but what I'm finding is that just before I left the UK, was talking about taking foodstuffs because of Brexit and so on and so forth. They were thinking of taking foodstuffs from America. So that started a whole conversation around Monsanto and genetically modified foods and foods that the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, yeah, I think it's FDA. How the FDA would say these certain foods are okay, but European food safety organizations will say it's not okay. So stuff that is banned in Europe is acceptable in the USA. And now Britain's saying, yeah, we're going to take our food from there. So what we have is this weird thing where we've got people who are taking, 1 second, why are you here? No, Salibu, sorry, please. Got people asking for donations. So what we have is we have lots of people who are getting food and the food is making them unwell. Whether that be food that has come from, whether that illness has come from too much sugars or too high in salt or too high in polyunsaturates or all manner of things. We're now seeing that the food that we take to nourish our bodies is actually poisoning us. We're seeing that genetically modified foods are now, which were at one point called Frankenstein foods, are now accepted as normal, a normal part of what you get from the supermarket. No one's even batting an eyelid anymore. So my question is, if you've got drugs, all right, that are being foisted upon us, for want of a better word, are being pushed on us, where they are impacting us on a genetic level, and we have food that has been modified at a genetic level, how long until those two meet and that the medicine is in the food? How long until that happens? There's examples of it happening before, because I remember even back at school, I was told by the teachers, well, there's fluoride in the water, so that's good for your teeth. Fluoride in the water is good for bones, it's good for teeth. So they were pumping fluoride into the water. What I didn't realize was that fluoride is obviously a very dangerous toxin, and it does nothing for your bones. That's all just some kind of conspiracy theory. What we are told as facts are lies, and what we are told are lies actually turn out to be the truth in the end. While I'm here in the Gambia, I've opened up Jaden's, and I remember I was talking to one Gambian, and they were like, do you have Maggi in this? Now, Maggi is what you and I would call Maggi. It's a seasoning that is full of monosodium glutamate, MSG. So I said, no, I don't have that. I don't have any food that has MSG in it. So she said, well, your food ain't gonna sell because that stuff tastes delicious and your food won't have it, so your stuff ain't gonna sell. Well, I had to prove her wrong, because the food tastes dope and it doesn't have MSG in it. And The sauce we use is completely organic, and I just buy the ingredients from the market up the road, and I can just make the sauce here in house. The vegan burger we make here, we make from scratch. A lot of people were like, nah, vegan burger, is this something that you're buying from the supermarket and bringing in? No, because of the fact that I don't trust what's coming out of there. So I have to be very selective about what I'm purchasing, so as that, you know, I can do a decent job here at the business. I've kind of gone off on a tangent. I apologize. But what I am saying, and what is important, is that we are in a very critical time. Whereas at one point we were dealing with food that had been genetically modified, and now they're trying to just genetically modify us. And if you don't think that these two are going to meet, you're not aware of what's going on in the world. That's going to happen. So please be aware, all right? This is your brother Marley. This is the Gambia One channel. This is the Gambia. You can't see the Gambia. Let me show you. Hold on. This is the Gambia. Oh, I dropped my phone.